Boy, you know you make me float. Boy, you really give me high. Ooh, I feel like I'm on dope. 'Cause you.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Queen's Opinion Podcast.
I am Queen Kira,
I am Queen Jasmine,
and together we are.
Queen's Opinion Podcast. So, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, y'all, you know, my friends sent a group text message out in the group chat, and they were like, what are you thankful for? And above all else, the three things that came to me were life, health, and my kids. So now I'm asking you, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, what are you thankful for?
Well, really, that's technically the same things, but my kid, that's the biggest thing. Like, yes, of course, I'm thankful for my life, my health, or whatever, but it's just something about being a mom for me. And, like, I have a story of how I got there in the process of becoming a mom, because I've always wanted to be a mom.
Me too, but I want to hear that story.
So, like, before my daughter was born, I've been married before. So, during the duration of my marriage, I lost kids in the process of wanting to be a mom so bad. And, like, I went through my divorce, went through that whole spiel or whatever, and started dating again and got with her dad, and
boom, there
she's
it is.
here. And it's like, I went through some stuff during my pregnancy, so I was more of like nervous, like, will she make it? Is she gonna be here? Will I even be able to bear kids? But that little girl here, and she was basically in 2016, when my daughter entered the world, she was my birthday gift. She and I share the same birthday month. Like, that's
so special. I always wanted a gift like that. I mean, granted, my kids are my gift, but I like that.
Yeah, she was my birthday gift. Like, as they say, like, be careful what you ask for, you just may get it. Or when it comes to certain things, you just have to be mindful. But my daughter has really changed my life for the better. My daughter saved me. And just to see her grow and to see how she is, she gets on my damn nerves. Do not get me wrong.
As they always do.
But I couldn't have asked for anything better. That's like one of the best gifts that happened in my life.
The biggest gift and the biggest responsibility.
Absolutely.
The biggest responsibility.
And like, I have a little girl, so she's a diva / she's the only child, so I have to be mindful of a lot of stuff that takes place. But for the most part, being a parent, period, it comes with a lot of stuff. You have to be mindful. You have to reevaluate yourself, what you're doing, how you moving.
Because everything's going to change. Even if you don't reevaluate the moment you give birth.
Absolutely. And it's like a feeling that you could, like, being pregnant too, it was like a feeling that I couldn't explain, because I used to ask questions like to my friends or family that have already had children, like, what does it feel like when you go into labor and, you know, you have your baby? And they was like, I can't explain it to you. Like, it's just a feeling that you can't explain. I even asked my mom at the time, like, how did it feel? She was just like, you just gonna have to go through it. It's not something that you can just put your finger on, like, that's like, exactly it. There you go. Because every experience is different. Yeah, absolutely. So, in my case, with her, my labor was induced. So I didn't have to go through I had contractions and stuff, but they had to, of course, induce my contractions. Now,
to me, that's the worst, sis.
No, they gave me that good old epidural.
I think I would have rather have went into labor naturally, because that, Pitocin or whatever that is.
With me, the doctor that I had at the time, she was there the whole time. And she had to go out of town that following weekend. So she was like, I'm not going to allow anybody else to deliver your baby. So Khalil was due. She was due at the beginning of October, of course, but she ended up coming on the 6th. That's when we set my induced labor date, like, into the 6th. So it was just like, okay, well, boom, she was there. She wanted to be there for that moment. But that experience, it was just like, wow. And now she here running around getting on my damn nerves, but I would not take it back and trade it for nothing in the world. That girl means so much to me. And again, I say she changed my life for the better. Like, she did that. But at the same time, being a mom too, getting into that, it takes you to a whole nother level. Being a parent, period. It takes you to a whole nother level. But
especially when you serious about it.
Absolutely.
When you that title, when you all about that title,
yeah,
like you said, it take you to a whole level. You can't move the same. You think differently. Everything is different. Like it's just like whenever you go to think something, my kids. You wake up, my kids. You go to sleep, my kids. Everything is about your kids from the moment they come out and enter this world. Like,
but what I've had to learn also, even with your kids, you can't forget about yourself. And I feel like I'm gonna speak for me specifically. Sometimes I had to remind myself, wait a minute, you are her mom, but she needs you to be her mom, but she also don't need you to forget about yourself. You have to remember about yourself, and we tend to do that being so much in parent mode.
But you know what, let me ask you something, because what you said is true, but also it's a stigma, like it's a negative connotation when moms be like, yeah, I'm a mom, but I got to think about myself too.
Yeah.
Because I've had people like, what you mean you need a break? Or I'm going out and I'm going to have me time. What you mean? It's like you're not allowed. It's kind of like
still live or something. Like it's a problem. Yeah. But I look at it like this too. Before I had them or before I became a parent, I was doing for me. And on top of it makes you, just my opinion, it makes you grind a little harder when you have someone that's basically dependent on you. But in the process, you can't forget about yourself, because if you don't have those moments where you can be to yourself, where you can mix and mingle a little bit to yourself or be able to do things, you can kind of check out. And you won't be any good for them.
Exactly. And that's what I try to tell people too.
With that.
But it's just like, I don't think we will ever come to a common ground. I know in my family, it's like I can never come to a common ground with the older generation. Yeah. Because I guess they're looking like, oh, you just want to go out and have fun. And whether I want to have fun or not, I'm owed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as my kids are good, however I choose to take care of me, that should be on me.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Most people, like I said, the older generation, it's not necessarily, the younger generation, because my sister, when I talk to her and I tell her, like, the different struggles, she's like, take that break, like, take that time. Yeah. And I guess because I'm the type of person, I will let a lot of people kind of guilt me into thinking like, damn, am I really supposed to be doing this because I am a mom?
Checking yourself, like, are you being a good mom or whatever? But like I tell people all the time, and even with myself, if you don't take some time for yourself, how can you be good? Not just only as a parent, but as a person. If you don't have that time to yourself to probably have a day away from certain things or just to do whatever you want to do, how are you going to be good for yourself or the next person or your child or whatever you have going on? Everybody needs a mental break. Everybody needs some time to themselves. Everybody needs some time away to collect their thoughts, to gather certain things. Everybody needs that. Exactly. And when you're fortunate enough, because some people don't even get it. Some people still got to suck it up and keep it moving regardless. But if you notice with those people, they break. They'll break down. They go into depression.
Because most people feel like mom, since we are the superheroes, it's like literally, you're the superhero. Like,
they're saying when you have a child, it's no longer about you. True, to a certain extent.
Exactly.
But in order for you to continue to be that parent or to continue to be able to parent, you got to have some time about you. It's not taken away from the fact that, well, if I go out tonight or if I just get a babysitter or my baby go to bed a little earlier than usual, that don't make me no bad parent. Shit, I need time to myself
Exactly.
from time to time. So
Because we like a vehicle too.
Absolutely.
We run on gasoline.
Absolutely.
And you can't, I don't care whether you driving goddamn the modern Tesla or whatever.
Yeah.
If you, if your vehicle take goddamn high octane, I don't give a damn. That shit gonna run out. You gotta refill.
Absolutely.
And to me, refilling is just me laying in the bed, and I just don't have to think about nothing because I know my kids are in an environment that they're safe. I don't have to go out and be in the streets.
And when you have an understanding, that's part of having a relationship with your kids too. Kids feel off because that's another thing. When you have overdone it, as they say, your kids feel that. And one thing I don't ever want my daughter to have to feel is that she's not being loved, or no one has time for her, or mama always want time to herself. No, mama need to be able to pour into you and be able to mix and mingle with you and share things with you, but be energized enough to do that. Because I feel like I tell all moms or people with kids, take that time for yourself. Even if it's just you closing the door and your child in the other room or whatever, you know they straight. The worst the child can do is drop or break something or whatever, or, you know, you have to deal with it. But if it's always mom, you'll probably lose your mind.
Oh yeah.
It's a given. And again, I say that does not make, I don't feel like that, in my opinion, that does not make you less of a parent, less of a mama. But when it comes to a woman and having to bear a child, regardless of the fact, you still need that time. You still gonna have to have it, because if you don't give yourself that time, what kind of good are you to your kid?
And that's just not even in parenting. That's universal.
I agree.
That's universal.
I totally agree.
You know, like, how can you be good for somebody else if you're broken, if you're, you know, de-energized? I don't even know if that's the word, but my followers, they gonna let me know if I goddamn said it wrong. But y'all get what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? And, but you know, that was an interesting story. Like, I've always wanted to be a mom too. And I never struggled with becoming a mom. So I don't have that, you know, I don't know what that feels like. Yeah. And you know, it's funny because I have been running into a lot of women who like struggle with infertility and who thought that I'm never gonna be a mom.
Yeah. And that was one of my fears. Like, okay, if this keeps happening, or what if I'm just not meant to be? Because, like, when it came, oh, my God, people with kids, I used to be, like,
kind of envious.
Oh, not necessarily that. Just I can't wait until it's my turn. So, like, when it came to, like, my nieces and nephews and stuff, oh, it was
you
extra.
Overcompensate. You auntie,
like,
mama.
Extra, like, plus some. And then when it finally happened for me, it was just like, okay, my turn. I'm finna try to go above and beyond. And I had to watch that too. And I still do, because my kid, she's smart. So she knows she play a part in certain things too. I can't fault her for it, but at the same time, that's the reality check with having time to yourself also. Because when you learn and know your kids, you know the stuff that they try to do, what they gonna do, how they gonna do it, try to play you or whatever.
Look, I'm mommy 2 times over. Gotcha. I already know the game. Yeah, exactly. I know the game.
Exactly.
So you ain't even got to tell me. I know.
Exactly. But going back to, like, with being thankful, yes, my family, of course.
Of course.
But when it comes to those 3 things in particular, yeah, being a mama, hands down. If I had to do it all over again, I would, but I'm not.
I don't know now. Because they got their labor.
I get
it's a motherfucker.
But I'm saying, like, if I had that opportunity to do it again, I probably would. But then,
okay, so why to experience that bond again, like with your? And see, I didn't have that.
The flip side of it, I was also paranoid with the complications that I went through to even get it. So I took it like this. I felt like I was given a chance to do it. Let me take that and let me go on about my business. I got her. I'm happy with it, and we good. And as they call it, my little broke best friend, yeah, that's my girl. Because you have nothing when you have kids, for real, because you be trying to, you know, make sure they have
You
everything. Plus
everything.
but then I still have to balance and work with that as well, because I don't want, my daughter is spoiled. I can't say that she's not, but I don't want her to be to the point to where it's just, I don't know nothing about life, or everything is supposed to be given to me. I don't supposed to work for it. No, I'm not going to have her like that. But the village that she has and the push that she has behind her, along with me being her mom, that part, I couldn't have asked for anything better. And then, too, another thing with being a parent, while we on subject, in my opinion, when it comes to being a parent, sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves, and I think that goes with it, too, with giving yourself that break and remembering who you are. Because, like, with me, when I had my daughter, I kind of forgot about myself a little bit. Even till now,
It's
like, I have
natural
to
to do
remind
that, yeah.
myself, like, wait a minute. She's still going to be your kid if you go do something for yourself, or she can't go this time, or you want to have some alone time, or, you know, just not be around her.
Right.
Because
Just being honest, right?
Because sometimes, like I say, it'd be like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of you for a little bit, because mama need to make sure this stay clear, and mama need to make sure that she has a moment so she can feed and pour more into you. And if you just right there all the time, I can't give you that. And that goes with people too. Like, sometimes I step myself back and just be like, I need to get away from everybody, not just her,
Exactly.
everybody, so I can recharge. But other than that, like, for the holidays, I'm just grateful to be here first and foremost, to be able to do
still
whatever
exactly.
and still be a mom, or have my health and live my life a certain type of way, because somebody's not. But when it comes to parenting, yeah, I feel like I'm a champion at.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
I
like,
don't think nobody can outdo me at this mommy shit.
No, you can't. You definitely can't. You definitely
And like they say, it's no manual to it.
at all.
But it's like, when you become a mom, it's just like,
It's an
instinct.
instant. Like, you pick up.
you just hop into
Yeah.
that mode. You don't need no training.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
people like, it's no manual, and I get that now.
Yeah.
Because some things that I have experienced and I had to endure with my kids, I'm like, damn, ain't nobody tell me this.
This was going to happen, yeah.
And how the hell do I do this?
And then even at their age that they are now, like, my daughter's 6, so I know I still got a way to go, as opposed to my siblings that have their kids.
That's in
My
their
sister's
teens.
kids are grown. Grown. Like, so they kind of like out in the ballpark. Like, okay, it's time to righteously live our life. Not saying that they weren't before, but I still got ways to go. And then I'm just like if I have an issue or something, like, I might, besides her dad, of course, but I may phone in her grandma, or I may phone in my sister or something like that, and just be like, okay, what am I doing? And how is this? And they be like, girl, basically, as they say, keep living. You doing it.
And that's another thing. I do ask for opinions, and I do ask for advice. But at the end of the day, sometimes I have to tune out those voices
Absolutely.
and do it the way that suits right with me.
Absolutely.
And I can't let no outside opinion. And like I said, I'm kind of like, people know that that's kind of a weakness in me, because I will allow somebody's opinion to kind of just make me
Overtake
shift. You know what I'm saying? But going through this journey of motherhood, I had to do what I felt was best, not what
Right.
nobody else
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, you can. I welcome the opinions, the advice, the whatever. You're doing good, the you're doing bad. I welcome it all.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm still their mom.
Exactly.
I'm still the mama of this tribe, of this set of children, or whatnot. So what I say is gonna, gonna rule
it's
and
gonna
trump
stand.
everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
like, just going into that, like, with our audience, like, how do y'all feel like being parents or being a mom? Like, what is your intake with it when it comes to parents? And we just said what we were thankful for, and it's our kids. So since that's the topic at hand, how do y'all feel about being a mom when it comes to being a mom? Your weaknesses, your strong points, how you feel. What's your opinion about it?
All I'm gonna say, you got to have tough skin to be a mommy.
Absolutely.
You can't be no weak individual to be no mommy. I don't care if you got the sweetest or the Grinch. I don't care. It take a tough person
It does.
to be a mom.
It really does.
Not only is it physical, it's spiritual.
Oh, absolutely.
It's mental. It's
Yeah.
emotional. It's
All
all
of
of
that's
that.
wrapped up and tied into it.
It's all that. The black, the white, the gray,
Yeah.
the whatever. Like, it's all of that.
Yeah.
But like Miss Queen Kira said, it ain't no better feeling in the world than to be a mama. And throughout all my struggles, my tears, my whatever, them two that I got, Lily and Mari, I love them with everything in me. And we gonna keep
Absolutely.
doing this mommy thing. We gonna do it till I ain't got no more breath left in me.
Absolutely. It
So
does not
shout
stop.
out to Lily and Mari. Mommy love y'all.
And shout out to Kalia. Mommy loves you too.
So thank y'all for tuning into Queen's Opinion Podcast. Please follow us on our IG, Queen's Opinion Podcast. We got the YouTube. We got Apple, whatever, Pandora, anything out there name, we got it. Okay? Oh, and let me say one more thing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know,
Go ahead.
we want people to be involved. So if y'all interested in coming on, y'all got some topics for us, y'all want to feature, hit us up, Queen's Opinion Podcast at gmail.com. Peace.
Stay tuned for the next episode.